Good evening. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Okay. Last week we discussed about paper questions of unit functions, right? Unit functions, length calculation, midpoint coordinate calculation, couple of straight lines. Yes. So on everything we discussed in unit functions and completed the first part of the coordinate geometry lesson. Okay. Today our target complete the quadratic function and complete the quadratic function part. This is very important part, but if you go to exam questions, but it is very rare questions, very limited questions asking in this quadratic functions. You have to more focus into unit functions, but you can't skip this quadratic functions also. In this time possible to ask question on quadratic functions. Okay, let's start the quadratic functions. Quadratic functions. Okay, now I think unit functions very simple. Every parts we discussed completely, 100% completed. Okay, quadratic functions and electricity. All exam MCQ questions discussed last Sunday, and I think tomorrow we can start the statistic lesson. That's another very important lesson. After that, we can complete as soon as possible our other remain lessons. Okay, I have sent the our schedule. According to our schedule, okay, this is our theory schedule. Within next month mean March, next Wednesday, starting from not next Wednesday, starting from tomorrow, I'm going to start descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics. After that, we can start cell structure. Within April month, we can complete cell structure, then natural products, industrial chemistry, fluid mechanism, and we have another lesson I forgot here, the environment chemistry. That's the end of your syllabus. In our practical sessions, I hope to discuss ICT lessons, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, basic Excel package, and other applications in practical sessions. Okay, this is our plan. Okay, quadratic functions. Okay, what's the meaning of quadratic functions? I told in unit functions, we always discussed about straight line on a Cartesian plane, the relationship of straight lines on a Cartesian plane. But in this quadratic functions, we mainly discussed about what? We mainly discussed about this type shapes. They we called as parabolic shapes, like this. Parabolic shapes. Parabolic shapes. Okay, very simply, I hope to revise again these quadratic functions, and I hope to discuss few exam questions, and complete the lesson. Okay. Now, if you got this first diagram that we called as maximum quadratic function, maximum, because the turning point is a bending point. the turning point of this first diagram, first parabolic shape, it is a maximum point. The turning point is a maximum point of the y-axis. I got. That's why we called as maximum. That's why we called as maximum parabolic shape or maximum quadratic function. If you got this one, this shape we called as minimum quadratic functions. Minimum quadratic functions. Minimum quadratic functions, the meaning the turning point is the minimum value of the y-axis. See, the turning point, the beginning point is the minimum point of the y-axis. Okay, I told in unit functions, what is a common equation for unit functions? That means straight lines, y equal mx plus c. I told m is a gradient, the x is the x, y and x are variables. M is a gradient. The gradient mean, what's the meaning of gradient? These definitions remain important. The tan angle to the x-axis positive direction, positive side of x-axis. The tan angle with positive side of x-axis. That's the meaning of gradient. And okay, what's the common equation for unit functions? Y equal mx plus c. Y equal mx plus c. Gradient, m gradient, c intercept. What's the meaning of gradient? X and y variables, point to point they are changing. M gradient, the gradient mean what? The tan angle to the x-axis positive side direction. Y-axis cutting point. That is very simple. We discussed several questions and every type of exam questions discussed in the unit functions complete 100%. But in quadratic functions, what is the common equation? This is a common equation for quadratic functions. Y equal ax squared plus bx plus c is the common equation. Y equal ax squared plus bx plus c is the common equation. C is the common equation. Ax squared plus bx plus c is the common equation. Okay. Okay. Please practice this. Y equal ax squared plus bx plus c is the common equation. Practice. Y equal ax squared plus bx plus c. Same as our previous examples, previous unit functions, y equal mx plus c equation, y, x squared and x, they all are variables. Remember, they all are variables. Point to point, this x and y value will be changed. Okay, they are variables. X and y values are changing point to point on the parabolic shape. If you consider 2 points on the parabolic shape, its x and y values are different. But a, b, c values, remember, a, b, c are the constant value. A, b, c is they are constant values. Okay, remember the a constant has a name that we call as quadratic coefficient. Quadratic coefficient. It's a constant. That we call it has quadratic coefficient. Quadratic coefficient. The b we called as unit coefficient. That one also a constant. Unit coefficient. unit coefficient. Okay, that's a constant coefficient. That's a not just only constant. Okay, all are constant, but that's a constant coefficient. Constant. Okay, now I told x squared, x and y, they are variables, but a, b, c are the constant. I got. Okay, that is a common equation of the quadratic function. Understood? Understood? Okay. Okay, this is a common equation. Y equal ax squared plus bx plus c is the common equation for quadratic functions. Y equal ax squared plus bx plus c. Hi. Now, let's take an example. Y equal 2x squared minus 2x squared plus 5x plus 9. Okay, can you send me what are the A, what is the value of A, what's the value of B, and what's the value of C? Can you identify? Can you identify values? What's the value of A? What's the value of B? What's the value of C? Yes, A equal 2. Very good. A equal plus 2, B equal plus 5, C equal plus 9. Okay. Can you identify this second one? Y equal, can you identify? What's the value of A? What's the value of B? And what's the value of C? Send me quickly. Okay, very good. A value equal minus 2, B equal minus 8, very good, not 8, minus 8, C equal plus 5. Okay, they are the value of A, B, and C. Okay, this is a common equation. That's how I identify A, B, C values. A, B, C constant values. That's a method. Okay. Now, can you get the value of this equation? Okay, can you send me what are the value of A, B, and C? What's the A constant? What's the B constant? What's the C constant? What's the A? What are the A, B, C constants? Samya? Others? Very good. Yes, all are correct. Yeah. First of all, you have to prepare this equation into common order. Now it is not given in common orders. What's a common order? Y equal ax squared plus bx plus c is a common order. Now it is given 3y. 3y is not in the common order. First of all, you can this equation into common order. Y equal how to convert into common order? You can divide all terms by 3. Now 3 to 3 cancel. Y equal 2x squared minus x plus 3. Now you can get the A, B, C values. A value equal 2, B value equal minus 1, C value equal plus 3. Okay, they are the values. Okay, now you should have an idea. First of all, you have to prepare the given equation. Any equation given for quadratic functions. First of all, you have to convert that equation into common order, right? After that, you can get A, B, and C values. 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 Okay, up to now, okay. Very simple thing I explained. The common equations and quadratic function shapes and the variables and constant I introduced. Understood up to now? Joel? Okay. Now, think this is a common order. What's a common order for quadratic functions? Y equal ax squared plus bx plus c is the common order. Okay, these equations I told a, x squared and x are the variables. A, B, C are the constant. They have a specific name. Commonly, they all are constants. They are constant factors, coefficient factors. Okay, now among these constants, the A is a constant very important. A is very important. Okay, remember, if this A value is a positive value, if this A constant is a positive value, if this A constant, A coefficient is a positive value, remember definitely the parabolic shape is a, which one? Positive or negative? Sorry, maximum or minimum? If it is positive value, how about the shape of the parabolic shape? Minimum. Very good. Very simple. It is minimum. Minimum. Minimum means is the shape. Minimum. If it is positive value, A value is a positive value, then the shape of the parabolic shape is minimum. Shape of the parabolic shape, minimum. Okay, if you got this A value negative, think A value is negative. Negative value. A is a negative value. Then what happened? Definitely the parabolic shape is a minimum. Sorry, maximum. Maximum. Maximum mean that's the shape. Okay. That's a theory. If you don't know, please note down. I think you have full note. In the theory lesson, I already explained. I just only want to revise you because they are very important in exam. Okay. Now you can find. Okay. Now example. Example. This is example number 1. Y equal 8x squared minus 2x plus 1. This quadratic function, maximum or minimum? Can you identify? Is it maximum or minimum? How about the shape of this quadratic function? Quickly. Is it maximum or minimum? What's the shape? Okay, how you can identify? It is very simple thing. First of all, you have to find the A coefficient. Okay, what's the value of A? It is plus 8. I told the value, A value is a plus value. It is minimum always. That me understood? Okay, now it is minimum. The shape minimum. 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 Now this one, y equal minus 4x squared plus x minus 9. Okay, what do you think? What's the shape? Amina, how about the shape of the second one? Is it maximum or minimum? Khabir? Definitely maximum. Why? The A value is minus 4. A value minus 4. Therefore, it is maximum. 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 Okay, third one. Maximum or minimum? Third one. How about the shape? Salmia? Maximum or minimum? Amina? Kabir? How about the shape? Yes, very good. It's maximum. First of all, you have to convert that into common order. What's the common order? Y equal minus 5 over 2x squared minus not plus 1.5x minus 10. Okay, this is the common order equation. Okay, now a value, how about the a value is a minus value, therefore it is maximum. Maximum. Okay, that's how if it is given in any form, you should have ability to identify, you should have able to identify positive or negative shape. According to the a value, positive or negative value, you can identify maximum graph or minimum graph. Understood? Okay, very simply I explained. Okay, first you need to check the common order, then you can check the a value sign. If it is positive value, it is minimum one. If it is minus value, it is maximum shape. Okay. Now let's move into our second part. The first part of the quadratic function complete. Let's move into second part of the lesson. Second part of the lesson. Turning point coordinates. 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 This turning point coordinates we called as another name. We identify as another name minimum or maximum point coordinate. If you got minimum quadratic function, its turning point is a minimum point. Okay, minimum or maximum point coordinates. Minimum or maximum point coordinates කියලා කියනවා. Why? If you got maximum one, y and x axis, this is think it is a maximum quadratic function. For maximum quadratic function, the maximum point is a turning point. That's why we called as turning point coordinate or minimum or max. Now for this maximum one, maximum point coordinates equal to the turning point coordinates. Always turning point is a maximum point for maximum one, maximum quadratic function. If you got minimum quadratic function, its turning point always minimum point. Minimum point is a turning point. I got. Hi. Now, what is the meaning of this turning point coordinates? Okay, what's the meaning of this turning point coordinates? turning point coordinates. What's the meaning of this turning point coordinates? Hi. Now, think I have maximum quadratic function. Think it is a maximum quadratic function x and y. This is the Cartesian plane, x coordinate and y coordinate. X coordinate and y coordinate. Think it is a maximum quadratic function. This is a maximum quadratic function. Now this is the turning point. The turning point is a maximum point for maximum quadratic function. The minimum point of minimum quadratic functions, the minimum point is the turning point coordinates. Okay, that I will explain. Okay, turning point coordinates mean maximum or minimum point coordinates. Coordinate mean x and y values. Think this is the turning point of this quadratic function. Okay, the turning point coordinates mean that the x value and y value of the turning point. That's the mean. Okay, this is the x value coordinate and this is a y value coordinate. Okay, this is the x value coordinate. This is the y value coordinate of the turning point. That's the meaning of turning point coordinates. Turning point coordinates. Turning point coordinates. Okay, how to calculate this turning point? Now we need to calculate x turning point x coordinate value and turning point y coordinate value. Okay, you have to calculate in separate way. Turning point x coordinate and turning point y coordinate. Okay, how to calculate that? How to calculate? Let's take an example. Very simple one. Y equal 5x squared plus 4x plus 3. I got very simple quadratic function to calculate the turning point coordinates. To calculate the turning point coordinates. How to calculate the turning point coordinates? It is very simple thing. We have a very simple equation. Now, what is my requirement? At the turning point, x coordinate value and y coordinate value I need to find. Okay, how to calculate? First, I can get the x coordinate value. Okay, what's the value of x coordinate? X coordinate value. We have a very simple equation minus b over 2a. Remember, turning point x coordinate, we have very simple equation minus b over 2a. Please prepare very clear and perfect short note for these equations. May pardon me, short note. Definitely you should have a short note, otherwise you will be confused. Because in final part of the lesson we have three main equations. By these three equations you can do any calculation, any type of quadratic functions you can solve by three equations. I will explain now. I am explaining now. Hi. Give me a second. Okay, sir. Okay, I told. Okay, sir. Okay, what's the meaning of turning point coordinates? If you got maximum quadratic function, maximum point, x and y coordinate values are the turning point coordinates. If you got minimum quadratic function at the minimum point of the parabolic shape, x and y coordinates are the minimum point coordinates of the turning point coordinates of minimum quadratic function. Okay. Now, this is an example. Okay. This is an example. I want to get the quadratic functions. I want to get the turning point coordinates of this example. Okay, now it is a quadratic functions in common order. Y equal ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, now this is a very important equation for calculate the x-axis of the turning point coordinate, x coordinate of the turning point, x equal minus b over 2a. Minus b over 2a. Okay, how to substitute? How to substitute? Okay, what's the meaning of minus b? The minus is given in the equation. Minus b value 4. Minus 4. Actually, the meaning, the minus given in the equation, minus into plus 4, minus and plus the value 4, minus 4. 2 into a value is plus 5, 2 into 5. Okay, this is the turning point x coordinate. That is very simple, no? Just substitute into minus b over 2a equation. Minus b over 2a equation. Okay, now minus 4 over 10. Minus 0.4 is the answer. Minus 0.4 is the turning point x coordinate. See, turning point x coordinate minus 0.4. Minus 0.4 is the x coordinate. Okay, now how you can calculate the y coordinate? Y coordinate. Turning point y coordinate. Remember, you have two options. You have two options. Now you already know the x-axis coordinate. Minus 0.4. Minus 0.4 is the x coordinate. Now you can substitute this x value into our common equation. That's a very basic method. That's a very basic method. Now you can substitute the x value into our basic equation like this. What is our basic given equation? Y equal 5x squared plus 4x plus 3 is basic equation. Okay, now you can substitute x equal minus 0.4. Minus 0.4. Now y equal 5 into 0. Minus 0.4 squared. Minus 0.4 squared plus 4 into minus 0.4 plus 3. Okay, I just substitute into our common equation. Then I can get an answer. What's the 0.4 squared? It's plus 1.6, right? Plus 1.6 or 0.16. Yeah, 0.16. 0.16, no? 0.16 multiplied by 5. 0.8. 0.8 plus 4 into 0, 4 into plus 4 into minus 0.4. It is 1.6. It is minus plus minus 1.6. Minus 1.6 plus 3 is the answer. Okay, now you can get the y coordinate. Very simple. Very simple. What I did, I got the x coordinate of the turning point. What is the equation? X equal minus b over 2a. Then I just substitute this value, x value, into our basic equation, the given equation. Substitute करा. Then 0.8 plus 1.6, not minus, 0.8, 0.8 minus 1.6 plus 3. Answer 2.2 is the answer. The y coordinate is 2.2. Okay, now you can say the turning point coordinates. What's the value of turning point coordinates? The turning point coordinates, x value minus 0.4, minus 0.4, comma, plus 2.2 is the answer. Okay, they are the turning point coordinates. Turning point coordinates. Okay, please note down if you want. Okay. Now you can get x coordinate and y coordinate of the turning point. Okay, they are the turning point coordinates. They are the turning point coordinates. Okay, how to calculate? Let's take another example. Okay, let's calculate for another example. Okay, now y equal minus 8x squared plus 3x minus 6. Okay, this is a quadratic function. Okay, can you calculate the turning point coordinates quickly? Please calculate the turning point coordinates. They are very important for our, okay, our final target. If they given this type diagram, this type quadratic function equation, we can sketch this, we can sketch the graph of the quadratic function. Okay, same as our unit function ability. In unit functions, if අපිට equation එකක් දුන්නම like this, y equal 5 x plus 8 type equation they given, when they given equation, we can sketch this, right? We can sketch. Last week I already explained, right? Same way, in quadratic functions also we can sketch. Okay, that's our final target. If you can sketch this type parabolic shape, Any type of question you can manage in exam questions. Okay. Okay. Quickly calculate. Okay. What are the coordinates of turning point or turning point coordinates? X and Y values. Okay. How to calculate? What is the basic equation? Very simple equation. The X, first you can calculate the X coordinate. X equal minus B over 2A. Remember the equation. Very important. Minus B over 2A. Now, what is the value of minus B? Minus 3 over 2A. 2 into minus 8. Minus 8. Okay. What is the value of X coordinate? Minus 3 over minus 16. Minus to minus cancel out. 3 over 16. 3 over 16 is the answer. Okay. Okay, what's the value? 3 over 16. It's a positive value. 0.1875. 0.1875. 1875, approximately 0.19. 0.19 is the 0.19 is the turning point X coordinate. Turning point X coordinate. Okay. Now to calculate the Y coordinate, you have two options. The very simple option, you can just substitute these value into the common equation as I explained in previous example. Okay, you can just substitute this x value into our basic equation, then you can get the y value. Okay, in this method I will explain another method, another equation to calculate y value. You can use any method. Okay, this is the equation. Just y coordinate of the turning point you can calculate by 4az minus b squared over 2a, sorry, 4a over 4a. 4az minus b squared over 4a. Remember the equation. Okay, now you can get the direct value of the, now you can directly get the value of y coordinate of the turning point. Okay, 4 into, what is the value of a? Minus 8, not 8, minus 8. What's the value of c? Minus 6. Minus b squared. B squared 9. Right? 9. 9 mean 3 squared, it is 9. Divide by 4 into a. 4 multiplied by a equal minus 8. 4 into minus 8. Okay, 4 into minus 8, it is, okay, what's the value? 4 into minus 8, minus 32, minus 32 into 6, minus 6. 192 minus 9 over minus 32. 192 minus 9 equal 183. 183 over 32. 182. Sorry, 183. 183 over 32. It is 5.72. 5.72. It is not positive, it is minus value. Okay, understood? If you want, you can use substitution method. X value substitution method. You can get the same answer. Okay, can you try to get the same answer by substitution method? By substitution method. Okay, 0.19 is answer. 0.19 is x value. X value you can substitute this. Minus 8. Okay, you can calculate minus 8 into x squared means 0.19 squared. 0.19 squared plus 3 into 0.19 minus 6. Okay, you can get the same answer, right? You can get the same answer, minus 72. 788. When you round off, it is 72. Understood? Please send me a message if you got the both. Okay. Now I will summarize what I explained up to now. Okay, this is a common equation. First of all, if they given in any type of form, you have to convert into common order. Our common equation type y equal ax squared plus bx plus c order. If not, you can't do anything. Okay, you can't find a, b, c values and you can't anything substitute. Okay, now you can. So I got 0.18 and minus 5.71. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, 1/8, but you have to round off. Yeah, 1/8 enne. Yeah, 3 over 9. So 3 over 16. 3 over 16. The value, the actual value, 0.1875. Now third decimal point more than 5. That's why I got 9. Now you have to round off, but it is not wrong, but better to round off, Joe. Better to round off into 2 decimal points. Now in exam, normally this type answers given in a range. Range එකක් ඇතුළේ තමයි marks දෙන්නේ. But better to use this round off method. මේක තමයි method එක. Sometimes no problem. A range එක exceed වුණොත් don't have marks. Okay, I've summarized. Okay, first of all, you have to convert into common order. Then you can find the turning point coordinates. Turning point coordinates mean at the turning point. That means maximum or minimum point. If it is maximum point is a quadratic turning point. If it is minimum quadratic point, its minimum point is a turning point. Okay, maximum or minimum point, x and y coordinates are the turning point coordinates. Okay, turning point coordinates, x coordinate, you can simply calculate by x coordinate, simply you can calculate by minus b over 2a equation. Remember the equation minus b over 2a. For y coordinate, of the turning point, you have two options. The x value you can just substitute into common equation. If not, we have another equation. Y equal 4ac minus b squared over 4a. Please note down these equations. Very important. Without this equation also you can calculate. No issue. But if you remember this equation, it will be easy. Same thing, both equations correct. Okay. Any doubt up to now? Now you can calculate the turning point coordinates of any quadratic function. Okay, let's do another calculation. Okay, this is question number 1. Examples done. Question number 1. Y equal minus 8 squared minus 6x plus 3. Can you calculate first question? What is the type of this quadratic function? Is it minimum or what's the type? What's the type? What is the type of this quadratic functions? What's the type of these quadratic functions? And then you can calculate turning point coordinates. Turning point coordinates. Turning point coordinates. Okay, quickly calculate turning point coordinates. Question number 1. Okay, what is the type of this quadratic function? Is it maximum or minimum? Samya, is it maximum or minimum? What's the type? What's the type of this quadratic function? Definitely it is maximum. Very good. Then turning point coordinates mean maximum point coordinates. Turning point mean maximum point coordinate because these maximum quadratic functions. Okay, how to calculate maximum maximum point coordinates? X coordinate, x turning point coordinate minus b over 2a. Now, what is the value for minus b? Minus coming from equation. Again, minus 6 is the b value. Minus 6 is the b value. Then brackets here. 2 into a value minus 8. A value minus 8. Now, minus plus 6 over 8 into 2, 16 minus 16. Minus 16. Minus 16. 6 over minus 6. 6 over minus 16. Three point, not 3 point, 0 point 3 0.38 is the x coordinate value. This is x coordinate value. Okay, if you want, you can just substitute this x value into our given equation, or you can use our second equation. What's the second equation? If you use second equation, you have to remember this. Okay. Okay, what is the equation? Y equal 4ac minus b squared over 4a. Very simple equation. 4ac minus b squared over 4a. Okay, please remember that. Y equal 4ac minus b squared over 4a. Over 4a. Okay. 4ac, 4 into a value minus 8. C, what's the C value? 3 plus 3. Minus b squared. B squared minus 6 squared 36 plus 36. Okay, 4 into minus 8. 4 into minus 8. Okay, now 4 into minus 8 into 3. It's a minus value. 32 into 3. 96 minus 96 minus 36 over 4 into 8, 32 minus 32. Okay, 96 minus 13132 over minus 32. Minus to minus cancel out. The y coordinate of the turning point is 132 over 32. Answer 4.125. 4.125. 4.125. Understood? Anyone? Do you have doubt? Okay. Very simply I explained in simple way. Okay. Now second part of the lesson complete. The turning point coordinates. Turning point coordinates. Turning point coordinates completed. Now write down the, no need to write down. This is the final part of the lesson. X-axis cutting points. X-axis cutting point calculations. Cutting points. Okay, what's the meaning of this x-axis cutting points? X-axis cutting point calculations. X-axis cutting point calculation mean, okay, if you got the sketch diagram of, any quadratic parabolic shape, okay, this is a shape. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. Okay, now you can find the turning point coordinate. As example, think 2 is the turning point. 2 is the turning point. Now think 4 is the y-axis of the turning point. in x-axis turning point coordinates 2, y-axis turning point coordinate 4. Okay, now think this is the turning point coordinate. Now you can sketch the turning point coordinates. You can find the turning point coordinates on Cartesian plane. Okay, now if you want to draw a sketch diagram, you have to find what are the x-axis cutting points. Okay, now this is a turning point. Turning point you found. It is not enough. You should have to find the turn x-axis cutting point as well. Okay, they are the x-axis cutting points now. They are the x-axis cutting points. Okay, this is a one cutting. This is a 1 point cut the x-axis. This is a second point cut the x-axis. Okay, if you can find these two values, easily you can draw a sketch diagram of the any quadratic functions when they given the equation. Apne equation එක දුන්නම sketch diagram එක අඳින්න පුළුවන්. Simple. Okay, how to do this? How to find this y-axis coordinate? Okay, when the graph cut the y-axis, when it is cut the x-axis, how about the y-axis value? How about y-axis value? While cut the x-axis, how about the value of y-axis? I mean, main line එක ගත්තාම what's the value of y-axis? Fatima, what's the value of y-axis? Yes, definitely it is 0, see, because it is 0, 0 point, initial point. When it is cut the y-axis, when it is cut the x-axis, the y-axis value 0. Okay, that's the principle. The y-axis value equals 0. Okay, this is a principle. This is a principle we can calculate the x-axis cutting point in any quadratic function. Okay, now let's take an example. Okay, this example. Okay, this is the example. Now, how to calculate y-axis cutting point? Not y-axis, x-axis cutting point. How to calculate x-axis cutting point? Okay, what is the principle when the graph cut the x-axis, the y-axis value equals 0. The y-axis initial axis, right? Y-axis initial point, y-axis 0. Now using this principle, we can prepare equation to calculate x-axis cutting point. X equal, remember this equation, this is the second equation you need to remember. X equal minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac square root over 2a. Okay, using this equation, you can calculate the x-axis 2 cutting points. X-axis 2 cutting point. After that, you can sketch this parabolic shape on a Cartesian plane. Okay, I'll give you a question. Okay, let's calculate first as example. Let's calculate x-axis cutting point on this given for this given quadratic functions. Okay, how to calculate minus b minus b. Minus b means what's the value? Minus 20. Plus or minus this cut 420 400 minus 4ac 4 into 5 into 2 divide by 2 into a value 5. Okay. Now what to do? Okay, minus 20. I can get first x-axis cutting point minus 20 plus. It is plus or minus. Now I can get only plus. This is x1 value. First x-axis cutting point. X1 minus 20 plus 400 minus 4 into 5 equal 20. 20 into 240. 400 minus 40, 360. What's the value of 360 square root? 360 square root over 10. Okay, now you can calculate the first x-axis cutting point. Let's take it as x1. It's x1. Okay, what's the value of x1? You can use calculator. Minus 20. Minus 20. Can you send me this value? Minus 20 plus square root 360 divide by 10. Can you send me quickly? Quickly. Kabir, Fatima. What is the value? 0.1 approximately. 0.10, right? 0.1 is the answer. Is it minus or positive? Plus or minus? Minus, yes. Minus. X1 equal the first x-axis cutting point minus 0.1. Minus 0.1. I got, Amina? Okay, now you can get the second x-axis cutting point minus 20 minus 360 square root divide by 10. This is the x2, second x-axis cutting point. Second x-axis cutting point. x2, second x-axis cutting point. Okay, can you send me the value? second x-axis cutting point. Okay, minus 3.8 minus 3.89 minus 3.8 approximately. Minus 3.8 or 3.9. Okay, that's how to calculate the x-axis cutting points. X-axis cutting points. X-axis cutting points. Hi. Okay, I'll give you a question now. I think now you got the full story, very simple lesson. Now the theory part completed. Okay, now you can manage any type of exam question. I will give you example. Okay, this is a question. Y equal 2x squared minus 8x minus 3. Okay, this is question number one. First part, what's the type of quadratic function? I'll write in short form, type of quadratic function. Type of quadratic function. The second one, the turning point coordinates. Turning point coordinates, that's mean turning point. At turning point, what is the x and y coordinate values? Third one, x-axis cutting points. X-axis cutting points. X-axis cutting points. X-axis cutting point. The final one, sketch the shape of the quadratic function on a Cartesian plane. On a Cartesian plane. Okay, this is a question. I will give you 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Please complete. First, identify what is the type of the quadratic function. Okay, if you have any doubt, please ask. Don't keep any doubt because this is a final one. We are discussing this way, these lessons. Again, we don't have time because according to information, the exam no any extension. Definitely that will held in second week of August. Complete. Okay, can you send me what are the turning point coordinates? What are the turning point coordinates? Okay. Y equal 2x squared minus 8x minus 3. Okay. Okay, what is the type of this? Is it positive? Sorry, is it maximum or minimum? Amina? How about the shape of this quadratic function? Is it maximum or minimum? Samya? Is it maximum or minimum? How about the shape? Yes, because a value is a positive value, therefore it is minimum. Good. Minimum. Very simple. This quadratic function part very simple and easy. Easy to understand than unit functions. Okay, what are the turning coordinates? First, you can calculate the x coordinate. X coordinate at the turning point. That's a x coordinate minus b over 2a. Minus b over 2a. What's the minus b? It is minus minus 8 over 2a. 2 into 2. 2 into 2 mean 4. Okay, minus minus 8. 8 plus 8 over 4, 2. The x-axis, x coordinate 2, comma. Okay, how to calculate y coordinate? Better to substitute into common equation, no? Yeah, easy to substitute. 2 into 2 squared means yeah, 2 into 2 squared, that means 4. Plus, sorry, not minus, 8 into 2 minus 3. 8 minus 16 minus 3. Okay, what's the value? 8 minus 16 minus 3. 8 minus 16 minus 8, no? Minus 8 minus 3 minus 11. Minus 11, good. Minus 11 and plus 2 minus 11 are the turning point coordinates. Okay, do you have any doubt up to now? Abir? Simple, right? Okay. Now x-axis cutting points. Okay, how to calculate x-axis cutting points now? X-axis cutting points. X-axis points, we can use our basic equation. Okay, what's the equation? What's the equation? X equal minus b plus o minus square root minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, just substitute into the equation minus b minus 8 plus or minus b squared minus 8 squared 64 plus 64 minus 4 into AC A2 into minus 3 divide by 2a. 2a means 4. Okay, now I can calculate the x1, first x-axis cutting point. First x-axis cutting point, how to calculate? Plus 8 minus plus 8 plus 8 plus 64 minus 4 into 2 it is 8. 8 into 3 24. 24. 24. 64. Yeah, what's the answer for this part? Okay, 88. 88 square root, that's the value. No, it's not the. Okay, however, square root 88. How I got the square root 88? 64 minus yeah, minus become positive. 4 into 8 sorry, 4 into 2 8, 8 into 3 24. It is plus 24 plus 64 plus 24, it is 88. 88 square root over 4 over 4. This is x1 value. X1 value, first x-axis cutting point. What is the value? What's the value? 8 plus square root 88 divide by 4. What's the value? 4.34. 4.34 approximately. Approximately 4.35. 4.35. 4.35 is the first value, first x-axis cutting point. Okay, again we can get the second x-axis cutting point, 8 minus square root 88 over 4. Now you can get the 8 minus square root 88 over 4. It's a minus value, minus 0.35 minus 0.35 minus 0.35. Okay, now I got the x-axis cutting point. X1 was x1 value was 4.35 plus value. The x2 was 0.35, it's minus value. Okay, raise hand if you got all the answers up to now. Raise hand please. Would you get these all answers? Joel, correct? Fatima? My last one row. What's a mistake? Turning point coordinates row. Correct. Good. Okay. Okay. Now you can sketch this diagram. Sketch this graph on a Cartesian plane. Okay. That's how it is sketching. Okay. This is x-axis. This is a y-axis. Now you don't need to mark all values on the Cartesian plane because it is not a complete graph. It is a sketch diagram. Okay. How to draw this sketch diagram? First of all, you can get the you can find the turning points on the Cartesian plane. The turning point x coordinate 2, y coordinate minus 11. Y coordinate minus 11. X coordinate 2. Okay, think approximately this is a 2. The y coordinate minus 11. Think it is minus 11. Y coordinate. Now you can find the this is the turning point. This is a turning point. This is a turning point. Next, this is a turning point. Okay, it is minimum. Okay, no issue. Okay, x1 value, the first x-axis cutting point 4.35. 4.35. Okay, think this is a 4.35. 4.35. 4.35. The second x-axis cutting point minus 0.35. Minus 0.35. It is very close to 0. Minus 0.35. Okay, now you can draw very sharp curve. Okay, this is the rough diagram. This is a sketch diagram of the parabolic graph given in the y equal 2x square minus 8x plus minus 3 equation. Okay, this is a complete answer. Okay, complete. Okay, now it's the end of the lesson. End of the lesson. Now any yeah, everything we discussed. Okay, how to calculate turning point coordinates finally. Now you can sketch the graph of the parabolic graph of the any quadratic function. Okay, let's do only one question. Okay, same type of question. I will give you only equation. Y equal 8x squared plus 2x plus 8. Okay, please, can you sketch the graph of this diagram? Can you sketch the graph of this quadratic function? Okay, first you can find the what is the type. Okay, you only need to, I need only the sketch. First you can decide what's the type, is it maximum or minimum? Then you can calculate turning point coordinates. Now you can calculate, so you need x-axis cutting points. Finally you can draw the sketch diagram. Okay, complete. Okay. Okay, what's the type of this? That one also a minimum one, right? Because a value is a positive value. If it is a positive, it's a minimum. Okay, now you can find what are the turning point coordinates. Turning point coordinates. Okay, what are the turning point coordinates? Quickly. Need to calculate turning point coordinates. X turning point coordinates minus p over 2a. 12 over 16. 0.75. 0.75 is the x coordinate, x turning point coordinates. Okay. Y equal 4 AC minus B squared over 4A. 4 into A, 8 into C also 8. Minus B squared mean 144 over 32. 4 into 8. 32 into 8. It's 3.5. Okay, this is the x coordinate value, turning point x coordinate. This is a turning point y coordinate. Correct? Joel? Sadhya? Okay, now you can calculate the x-axis cutting points coordinates. X-axis cutting point coordinates. How to calculate? X-axis cutting point coordinates. X-axis cutting point coordinates. Okay, how to calculate? X equal minus B plus or minus square root B squared minus 4AC over 2A. Minus B mean minus 12. Plus or minus B squared mean 144 minus 4AC. 4 into A, it is 32. 32 into 8. 256. 256. Over 2A means 16. Okay, now you can get the x1 value, the first x-axis cutting point, minus minus plus, plus 12, 12 plus 144 minus 256. It is minus 122. Sorry, minus 112 over 16. Now you can get the first x-axis cutting value. 12 square root 112. 12 plus square root 112 divide by 60. Answer 1.41. 1.41. This is the first x-axis cutting point. First x-axis cutting point. Okay, now you can get the second x-axis cutting point, 12 minus 112 over 60. This is second x-axis cutting point. Okay, it is very simple, very small value, 0.08. 0.08. 0.08. Okay. Are you correct, Fatima? Up to now, correct? Kabir, Sarmia? Are you correct, Sarmia? Correct, good. Kabir, correct? Amina, correct? Up to now? Turning point coordinates and x-axis cutting point coordinates. Good. Okay. Now you can sketch the graph on Cartesian plane. This is x-axis. This is a y-axis. X and y. First get the turning point coordinates 0.75 and 3.5. 0.75. 0.75 and 3.5. Think it is 0.75. 0.75 and 3.5. Think this is a 3.5. 3.5. Okay, this is a turning point coordinates. Okay. Yes. Okay, it is positive or negative. That's a problem. Yes. Yeah, correct. No. Then it is no any x-axis cutting points. It's don't have any x-axis cutting point because it is minimum. Okay, the shape minimum, and this is the turning point. Then no any x-axis cutting points. No any x-axis cutting points. Understood? Okay, I'll give you a question. We have another 10 minutes. Okay. Can you calculate this 22 MCQ question? Question number 22. Lot of quadratic function questions coming as MCQ questions. Essay questions asking mainly unit functions. The diagram shows the suspension bridge with the parabolic cable hanging between two towers. Coordinates of two endpoints of the cable are given. Okay, it is -6, 20 and this is +20 and 20. The y coordinate 20, that means this value 20, this value 20. This is the -60, this value +60. Which of the following equations models a parabolic shape of the cable? The parabolic shape is given. Now the question asks, what is the equation? Can you find? Okay, now how about the value of turning point coordinates? Turning point coordinates are 0, 0. X and Y 0, 0. The symmetric graph, symmetric parabolic shape. Okay, how to find this? Okay, now it is equation. Now it is a MCQ question. For MCQ questions, you don't need to go very long steps. You don't need to go for very long steps. Okay, just now this is given in standard order. Y equal 108 x squared. That means A is the 180. Okay, second one 180y. That means if you got in standard orders, common order, y equal x squared, 1/180 x squared. The third one, y equal 1/180 minus x squared. Okay, they are the answers now. They are the answers. Y equal 180 x squared, 180, sorry, y equal 1/180 x squared. Okay, now simply if it is any point on this graph, you can just substitute this given any value. Okay, as example, you can select this point value 60, 20. Okay, you can just substitute into this equation. Now y value equal 20, y value 20, you can substitute this x value into this equation. Okay, now you can say 180 multiplied by 180 multiplied by 60 squared, x value equals 60, 60 squared, 60 squared 3000 600, 3600 is it equal to 20? No, it's a large value. Its first answer is wrong. First answer wrong. First answer you can cancel. Okay, second one. y equal 20. If it is 20, 1 over 180, 1 over 180 into x squared. X squared is 3,600. Now 0 to 0 cancel. Now it is 20. 20 into 1. Now it is equal. Now it is equal. Then answer 2. Answer 2. Okay, you can check the third answer. You can check the third answer. Y equal minus 180. No, the y is not minus value. Minus value, it's always 20. See? Both 20. Okay, therefore answer number 2. Understood? Understood? Okay, let's take another question. Past paper questions. In this part, past paper questions very rare, but in your time, it can be a full essay question. Okay, then you have to careful. You have to practice. Okay, let's do another question. MCQ question 2021. Okay, this one. Question number 22. Okay. The part of the basketball shown in the picture can be modeled by the equation y equals 0.5 x squared, 0.5 x squared. If the ball reaches at x equal 4 units, this height is, the h is asking, the maximum height is asking. Okay, how to calculate? That means turning point y coordinate, right? The x equal given, the x equal 4. Now you can substitute this 4 into our common equation, given equation. Y equal 0.5 x squared means 16 plus 4 into 4, 16 plus 2. You can get the answer. 0.5 into 8, it is 0.5 into 16, it is 8 minus 8 plus 16 plus 2. Minus 8 plus 16, it is plus 8, plus 8 plus 2, it is 10. 10 unit is the height. 10 unit is the height. Understood? Understood? Kabir? Understood? Okay, that's all we discussed. The coordinate geometry complete. You can find more questions. You can find more questions in past papers and complete all questions and complete the all works in coordinate geometry lesson. Then you can easily ready for our next lesson. Don't anyone miss our next lesson. Our next lesson we are going to start tomorrow. It is statistics. Statistics, very new and very important lesson, because in first exam essay question, definitely in statistic lesson. In past 11 years, all exams, the first essay question, maths part, essay maths part, first essay questions was statistic lesson. Okay, therefore that's very, very important lesson. Okay, tomorrow we can start the lesson, and within 4 to 5 weeks, 4 to 5 days, we can complete the lesson. After that, we can go to our theory lessons, natural products, environment chemistry, polymers, and industrial chemistry. Then the syllabus will be complete within June. We can complete the syllabus. And after New Year break, I am going to start practical sessions for you, including all practicals based, because mainly structured questions, This is structured questions based on mainly practicals. See that this is practical. This is practical. That one also practical. ඒක නම් ඔයාලට කරගන්න පුළුවන්. It is simple practical. This one also practical. Okay, always this 20 marks in structured essay part. That's very important. 20 marks. Okay, then we can start our paper discussion. The problem, we have very limited time, therefore you have to maximum, you have to try come to everyday classes and do your maximum. That's your responsibility, because you have very limited time. Now you have 4 months, okay, remain, no, only 4 months. Yes, that's the end of February. Okay, you have to do your maximum. Okay, then let's meet tomorrow with our new lesson, statistics. Goodbye.